Welcome back for another episode of Two Joes and the Pro. As always, it's Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. I have the energy. Plain and simple. My guys, what's going on?
Take two. Hopefully my mic works. Is it whack?
I'm ready to roll.
All right.
Yeah, so we've been hearing the requests for the people, and frankly, you guys are tired of hearing my mouth. That's pretty much what I took from it, right? Too much of Kenny, not enough of everybody else, right? So with that being said, we're switching things up. Ryan is starting off with football, and I'm going to take the back seat and shut the hell up for once, right? So it's football season. It's not Kenny season, so let me step back. We listen to the people. We are the channel for the people. You like that?
That was beautiful. Kenny, that was beautiful. Listen, I wanna cover. I'm gonna let you talk because I'm not selfish like that. I want to share the limelight with my brothers.
The limelight.
So the limelight. Well, never mind. Hey, so let's talk about the Hall of Fame game that happened last Thursday. This week is technically week 1 of the preseason, so we'll get into some of those games this week, but I mean, nothing's really of interest. The Giants are going to stomp the Patriots tomorrow night, so that'll be fun. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Josh McDaniels' debut with the Las Vegas Raiders. Played against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags were like, we know this turf at the Hall of Fame game is terrible. We're not going to – the field is terrible there. So they played like none of their players. Now, McDaniels, on the other hand, was like, no, I'm playing like most of my players. So, except for like his star players like Devontae Adams didn't play, Hunter Renfrow didn't play, Waller didn't play, Derek Carr didn't play, but he did roll out every single running back that's on his roster. So I want to get your guys' perspective on, did you think anything of it because the rotation? Did you think that it was curious why he was playing a lot of Josh Jacobs? Because usually if you're sitting your starters, why would you play Jacobs? Do you think he's trying to get him some show during the preseason to get some trade offers in? What do you think?
Great, Brian.
Cool. Wow.
Well, listen, I have a biased opinion on this. Obviously, Ryan knows because I drafted Zamir White in Dynasty League. So, but yeah, I think anything's on the table really because Jacobs is going into his contract year. He's looking to get paid. McDaniel's coming from a system that never really pays running backs and believes that they're a dime a dozen. So, and I think they drafted this kid White with high upside for him. Like they really liked him, and so I could see it happening. I could see either him getting traded. I could see them justifying that they could share the workload right out from the start. It's weird though that Drake hasn't been really getting in there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any more on that. I just
you know what I thought was nice? The knock on Josh Jacobs the last couple of years has not been on him as a player because in college he caught the ball out of the backfield pretty often. But Gruden didn't do that. He didn't throw him the ball out of the backfield, whether it was he didn't like the way he was pass protecting or what. Like, he just never did. This game, they threw to the running back a ton. So I think that's going to be a staple of the team this year. Like, Zamir White had 3 catches. Josh Jacobs had 2. Amir Abdullah had 1. Like, that's a good amount to the running back position.
Well,
I like that.
I think we have plenty of examples of John Gruden having the times pass him by. So, I'll leave it at that for now.
Andy, what are your thoughts on Jacobs? I know you like him as a player, right?
I'm joking with y'all. I'm just joking.
This guy, man.
My honest opinion is, okay, so Kenyon Drake is not going to get a lot of toast. We know he's going to be the third down guy. That's good, right? That is the Patriots way. Josh McDaniels knows, okay, cool. He's going to carve out that James White role. Okay, who's going to be my bully? Right? I think he is. Who's going to be my bully, right? So you think about Abdullah. You think about Zamir White in his career at Georgia. You think about Josh Jacobs. And none of them are really. I don't really think Josh Jacobs is that good, right? Only reason I said that is because
Hot take.
at Alabama he didn't really do too much, right? People were really high up on him because his versatility, but yet again he wasn't running between the tackles. He wasn't Damian, right? So he wasn't doing all that. So he was getting a lot of shine because he was making great plays, and a lot of people in the SEC don't prepare for Alabama to do all these passes to the running back. They expect him to run down, right? Run down into the, inside zone, outside zone. So when you look at it and you assess Josh Jacobs, is like, okay, he could do so many different things. And then you're like, well, he can run between the tackles because he did that a few times, right? But he was serving the role that Deebo Samuels was last year for the 49ers. That's what he was doing at Alabama, right? Those type of things, right? Getting the carries in certain situations. Now you take him to the NFL and you're like, okay, cool, you're going to be our every down back, or you're going to be our 3 down back if we can, right? If not, you're going to run through between the tackles. That's not really his strong suit. So he's not going to hold up because his body's not built for that. So then he has all these injuries, right? And people are like, oh my gosh, he can't stay healthy. He never was like that in college. So you're expecting him to be a certain way that he wasn't like in college. So now that he's in his contract year, they're like, okay, we're tired of giving him chances, right? Now you got to go earn it. And if you see how he was running way harder than I've ever seen, especially in the preseason in a while. He was taking contact. He was finishing the runs, right? He wasn't jumping out of bounds like he did his first couple of years, right? Because he knows his ass is on the line. And I tell you one thing about, I think they call him Zeus. He's a bull in a china shop, right? Like if you see how he ran at Georgia, that man is running through you. So he knows, okay, cool, we have another SEC guy who runs hard, another veteran that has been a journeyman. He's trying to find his way. I really got to step up to the plate, and I think that's what you're going to see the whole preseason.
Well, speaking of trades, Josh McDaniels said that they are not trading him. But, I mean, that just means they didn't get the right offer yet.
That's all.
Yeah.
But on that same note, I love this news as a Nick Chubb owner and wants to see Nick Chubb unleashed on the Browns. Kareem Hunt is pretty pissed. I think he's holding in. He doesn't want to come to practice because he wants a new contract, and he's demanded or requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns because he wants more money.
Why though? Why does he deserve more money? You're you know what I mean? You're splitting with Nick Chubb, who's better than you, right? You already messed up your bag already when you were in Kansas City that you could have got the bag that you wanted. You messed that up, right? And then second of all, you took an extension last year anyway and signed for the money, right? So with that being said, you took it. Yes, it's a small contract and you want to get another extension, but you took the money last year. So if you wanted a longer contract, you should have did it last year. So don't get pissed off and upset now that, oh, I'm not getting the money. Bro, you signed a contract last year for extension. Like, what are you talking about? You're the one that took the 2-year deal. If you wanted a long deal, you should have took a 4-year or not signed it and wait to go to another place. Don't be pissing in your panties because you're upset about that. And I thought they gave him a fair deal for him being a backup, right? Let's be real. He's a backup, right? For you being a backup and you have a carved role, right? But for you to be in a backup and they're giving you $20 million, be happy with that. Hell, you getting upset for? I should just. He
has zero leverage. I'm usually all about the players and then when they have leverage, but he has no leverage. Like, he signed that contract. There's no reason why he should not be on the field. And the Browns have no reason to grant him a trade.
Yeah.
And who's going to offer him to take on his contract?
No.
They're going to wait till an injury happens. That will, then maybe you'll see a player like him or Jacobs get traded.
And he's not the same guy as he was in Kansas City. He's not a starter, bro. We saw when Nick Chubb went down, and guess what? It's your time to shine. What did you do? You got hurt. Like you're not the guy. Yeah, you had that good year in Kansas City, and you're supposed to be the guy, but you're not the guy anymore, right? So it's like it's a hard pill to swallow, but like sometimes you let your ego get in the way, and then what you're doing is you're showing people that you're a me guy. And that's going to make less people want to give you money when you're on a trading. I mean, you're on a block or you're a free agent because they're like, no, you're a guy that's selfish. right? So
Love it. All right.
I have a different perspective.
Oh, let's hear it.
Just real quick.
Let's hear it.
I think it's more about he just wants to get off the Browns. I think he wants to go to a winning team. He's starting to get older. He wants to chase a ring, and he sees the writing on the wall with the whole Watson thing, that he knows Jacoby Brissett's not it. If Watson's out the whole year or even half the year, it could derail their whole season. I think he just wants to get out. I don't think it has anything to do with money, to be completely fair. I think he's just using that as an excuse to request a trade offer.
I mean, he only played in 8 games last year.
yeah, like let's be serious.
Like-
And bro, it's only 27. Like, he ain't that.
Okay, 30 is usually the number of futility for running.
Yeah,
backs.
for starters that have a lot
Yeah.
of tread on their tires, he carried the ball 78 times last year and 198.
Carries, but how many touches?
In his
How
career,
many
bro,
times,
he
how many
has
times do you think
700.
he caught the ball?
In his career, he has 772 touches. He's only been in the league for 5 years, and the heaviest he ever had was his first year with the Chiefs with 272. Then he dropped to one.
Is that counting his Is that counting his catches too?
For the Chiefs.
That is his role more now. Is he's more of the catcher?
Yeah,
Well,
so
I mean-
I would say so. 2017, right? He had 272 rushes. How many? He had 53 receptions. Last year he had 78 rushes and 22 catches. He hasn't had any high catches since his rookie year. The highest after that was a year before in Cleveland. He had 38 when they gave him the contract. So what you complaining about?
That's my big thing with him. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's the pass catching back." Like, he didn't really catch the ball a ton out of the backfield. They just schemed him really well in the red zone, and he scored touchdowns. Like that was his thing. Because he had 6 rushing touchdowns that year and 5 receiving touchdowns. That's 11 touchdowns for a backup. Like, he just happened to get the ball. It's not like when Eckler and Melvin Gordon were on the field at the same time, and Eckler was literally like a 70 catch guy, like out of the backfield.
Even when you think about this, right? In Kansas City, when he played 11 games, he had 181 rushes for 824 yards. In the 2020 year, which is his best year with Cleveland, he had 198 rushes for 841 yards. So it's like, yeah, you were productive, but like, other than that, bro, you're plateauing, right? It wasn't like you're like, oh my gosh, you got less carries and you did more. You actually did a little bit less than you did when you were in your second year at Kansas City. You played 11 games.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he wants a shot at starting, and he knows he's never going to get it in Cleveland.
No, not with Nick
Because,
Chubb.
Nick Chubb is a superior running back.
100%. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan.
I don't know why he wouldn't be a starter. His longevity is going to cut his longevity in half. I don't know.
Well, let's move on. Hey, the Jets are dealing with an injury. They lost their starting offensive tackle, Mekhi Becton, for the entire year. He fractured his kneecap, so that kind of sucks. They're working out Dwayne Brown, I think, to try and get someone to come in.
Becton just is always hurt.
Yeah.
Every year he gets hurt. I feel bad, but at the same time, that guy is such a huge man, and he's getting his knees hurt. He's not gonna fare well, dude. He's gonna have to lose weight if he wants to stay in the league.
Absolutely. Brian will love to hear this, but the Browns wide receiver N'Keal Harry suffered a high ankle sprain in practice and is likely out for 6 weeks.
Yo.
Bears, not the Browns.
The Bears. Didn't I say Bears?
No, you said Browns.
Oh, well, the Bears.
It's all good. I was just,
N'Keal Harry is a joke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I've never seen somebody get so many lifelines that's not good in my life. Like, golly.
Hey, I guess this is kind of major news, but the Denver Broncos have officially sold their team, so that has been approved.
Yeah.
To who?
So that's cool. The Walmart dude, Rob Walton, and his financing company or financing deal.
Bro, that dude didn't. I saw he didn't even know Roger Goodell's name. Like,
Maybe he was trolling.
he like messed up his name.
Most expensive team to ever sell, $4.65 billion.
And he just paid
Yeah,
that
that's a lot.
in stock.
Well, it was the Walton
cash.
Penner family deal. So
That's
it
I
wasn't
think
just
I
his
think that's him and his wife. Something like that. Do you know? I think his net worth is, I forgot, like 30 something billion, 40 something billion.
ridiculous.
When you have money like that, like you just have to spend it on wild ways. Like, what can I? Let's buy a team. Like,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna do anything else with it, right? Like Elon Musk. Okay, let's go buy Twitter. Like, even though he tried not to now, but it's like, all right, yeah, how much it costs?
Well, that's only
40
because
billion. All right.
they're trying to put stuff into the deal that he can't change certain things about Twitter. Like, and he wants to make it like not like public.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he wants to take it private and do all that. I just think it's funny. Like, that's a different type of money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those guys just got a different type of bag.
I do
We
like
want to buy tickets to the game. They want to buy teams.
I do like this Roquan Smith from the Bears is requesting a trade from the Chicago Bears. So that would be pretty nice. That's a nice linebacker for wherever he goes.
That's weird to me because he is considered like the team captain.
Yeah.
Right? And it's wild that he wants to get a trade. And if they trade him, that's weird to me too because it's like that is the quarterback of your defense. So if you let him go, then you guys are kind of like just saying, fuck it. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, he's pretty vocal on the team.
Yeah, but he's saying they're negotiating bad faith for his new contract.
Yeah.
Like, they're giving him crap offers. And so that's why he's upset.
Hey, wait, all right. The last thing I think I'm going to go over, there's like little stuff going on here and there, but I want to hear, Brian, give us your opinion about the reports out of camp that the Patriots offense is struggling.
Yeah, it is. They're trying to, I said this before, they're trying to install a new offense. It's the zone blocking scheme that the Shanahans came up with. And they want to transition to it, and they really don't have anybody that coaches it or that has coached it in the past. So it's kind of Bill Belichick trying to say, I'm just as smart as everybody else, so I can figure this out.
Can you admit?
And it's not working out. It's not working out right now. But, I mean, listen, we'll see. You're going to see on Thursday night.
Who's calling plays?
Trust me.
Calling plays?
The Patriots are going to be bad. Oh, that's Matt Patricia. That's easy. He's the one that's going to be calling plays.
I just think it's going to be the best season to watch the Patriots. He's going to be out there with a Madden playbook. Yeah, run
On
B,
the iPad.
circle,
Microsoft
triangle,
Surface.
triangle, square, R1, R2. Right.
No, he's not Sean McVay. Okay, calm down.
All right,
He doesn't have Jared Goff at quarterback.
that's all I got. But that's wild. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
And Deshaun.
I'll ask you this question.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, I was just gonna talk crap about Deshaun Watson that he's probably gonna suspend it for an entire year.
Yeah. Did you see what Roger Goodell's comments was?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
For the listeners, tell
Pretty
them.
much, he said is, I don't know if I said it right. Predatorial. That's what it is. He said what?
Behavior.
Which makes sense. When you think about it, like, if you're no bias, right? No bias, and you think about it,
right.
What he was doing, going to these different places and just pulling up like, hey, can I get a massage? And like, that's a little creepy, bro.
I
don't know him like
100%
that, so
agree.
it's like,
but don't the NFL. That's like the NFL saying like, I want you to stand on like Casey Anthony standing on trial, a jury of your peers, and then we didn't like the outcome. Be like, no. Let's go back and redo this. Like you chose it. That's what the judge decided, and you said you were going to go with that.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
You're an idiot.
But I'm not gonna get into the other underlying things, right? This is not a
right.
But yeah, my question was because Brian was like, oh yeah, because of contract stuff. So where do you rank Roquan Smith as top linebacker or like in his top linebackers? Where do you rank him at for middle linebackers?
I mean, he's definitely in my top 10. We're talking middles, right? Or are we talking? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to include the pass
No.
rusher. outside
Just
linebacker.
middle
That's
linebackers.
different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely in my top 10. I mean, just because of the pure athleticism and the fact that he can be everywhere on field. I mean, and he's pretty smart too. So don't get it twisted. I mean, he's not the most, he's not the smartest. He's not like Luke Kuechly out there, like the smartest guy out on the field, but he's very smart. He might be in the top 5. I don't know, man. I'd have to think about it. I mean, it'd be close.
I just think his thing, he
be
can't
getting
cover.
a very good. I mean,
he bangs now. Don't get me wrong. If you get in that gap, he gonna bang you. But
that's where I think that's what I'm saying. Like where he's not the smartest. I think like the film study, like coverage
makes it.
He's got the physical tools to be the coverage guy.
But he don't.
The reason why it's not translating on the field, I think, comes down to just educating himself more on what the offense is trying to do.
But should he get that money though?
Yes.
Because he's probably asking. He's probably asking to be one of the highest paid. But is he Fred Warner?
No.
Like, is he Patrick Queen? Queen? No.
But he's not yet.
Like,
well, Patrick Queen, I would put him up there yet.
I think Patrick Queen is a banger. Like they're kind of similar. I think he's a banger and he can cover. Well, like it's other linebackers too. Don't get me twisted. I'll just throw names out there.
Darius Leonard, like
that guy on the Saints. The guy on the Saints.
Demario Davis.
I forget his name for some reason.
Demario Davis, Darius Leonard.
Bobby Bobby Wagner's still there.
Bobby Wagner's still good. He still cover everybody, right?
Levante David.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Levante
David and what's his name? His partner in crime.
Bush or
No. Devin White.
Devin White's so good.
He get busy.
He's
too.
more ascendant. He can cover. He's fast.
Mm-hmm.
But like even
So, like,
people that aren't high on him, but Eric Kendricks from the Vikings, the Vikings one, I think he's good.
Yeah,
he's nice.
He can cover. Yeah. I just think comparatively, like I know he's asking for a big number, and I think that's why he's probably getting upset. But you have to, in order to get that big number, you got to be a 5-tool, like baseball. You need to be a 5-tool guy, and I don't think he's a 5-tool guy. That's all I wanted to say.
But he probably thinks he is. He thinks he is, and also contracts come down to timing too.
Mm-hmm.
Just you know what I mean? Like he wants to get as high of a dollar as he can because he's not going to get a contract for 3 or 4 years.
Wasn't a ton of linebackers signed this year.
Maximize it now.
So that hurts.
Yeah,
like look at the receivers that were signed this offseason. That's why people were getting bags like Christian Kirk, players like that.
But what are the top linebackers even making now? Like $12 million a year? Is that high? Or I don't know what the middle linebackers market really is.
I think Fred Warner is the highest paid right now.
Well, it's also a 1-year deal that he's got.
For him, no, he signed a 5-year, $95 million.
He did? Why would they give him 5 years? It's like he'll be like 40.
No, he's 25,
what?
bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Fred Warner?
Oh, Fred Warner.
He's 25 years old.
I thought you were talking about the 1-year deal that Bobby Wagner signed.
No. Fred Warner. Yeah, he got 95. He got 95 million. 19 average is his base. So, anyway,
49ers always draft good linebackers, like no matter what.
Yeah.
Who was that Borland, the Ohio State guy that they drafted that had he had a great year and then he retired like right after.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because of injury, right?
I think it was concussions, but I think it was like a preemptive retiring. Like he didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah, it was concussions, but he said I didn't want to have the brain issues, and yeah, that's why he retired.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, what we got for baseball?
Yo, baseball. So I just really want to quickly just go run down the standings. Haven't really changed much. I will note in the the AL East. Jeez, talking football, I said AFC. The AL East, the Yankees. I just want to point out, since the end of June, they've been a sub 500 team, so they haven't been playing the best ball. But thankfully, they built such a huge lead in the beginning. They're still 10 games up on second place, which is Toronto. So nothing's really going to change there. It's part of baseball. You have slumps. But right now, the Yankees are not playing their best ball. Surprisingly, the best team in the AL East, like currently within the last 10 to 20 games, is actually the Orioles. They're making a little noise. They're tied with Tampa for third.
Oh, that's crazy.
2 games behind Toronto. So I mean, they might make it in the wild card. We'll see. I mean, but they sold a couple pieces at the trade deadline. So like Trey Mancini, they sold a couple bullpen arms. So they didn't help themselves any, but I don't know. They're just playing very well. I don't know why. It's a weird phenomenon. Sometimes teams just click. So the AL Central is the hottest race for a division. It's tied right now between Cleveland and Minnesota, and the White Sox are 1.5 back. That could go to any of the 3 teams. I said it all year. I'm still surprised about the Guardians. Did I say Indians? I meant Guardians. And I don't know why they're this good. I mean, Jose Ramirez is a beast, but they've been getting a lot of good play out of some young players this year. So they might be a formidable team going forward in future years. Houston still running away with the West. They've only been playing 500 ball the last 10 games, but Seattle's kind of cooled off a little bit. They're only 6-4 their last 10. So then real quick, the NL, the Mets are starting to pull away from the Braves, which is surprising. I've been saying that all year too, because I think the Braves from top to bottom are one of the best teams in baseball.
Even without
obviously.
Freddie?
Yeah, because they brought in Matt Olson, who isn't quite Freddie Freeman, but he's still pretty damn good. Yeah. He's like 1B to Freddie Freeman's 1A. Like he's still pretty damn good. They have been dealing with some injuries. I will concede that. I know Albies has been out. Wait, is it Albies? Yeah, that's their second baseman. I always get them confused. Him and Acuna. Yeah, it's Albies.
Yeah, Albies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fractured his foot. I believe is what he did. He's been out for a few weeks now, so I think he might be back for playoff push. We'll see. The Cardinals pulling away in the Central. Milwaukee has been terrible since the trade deadline. I think they were about 4 games up at the trade deadline, and they are now half a game behind St. Louis. They're 4-6 in the last 10. Things aren't working out very well there. They might actually see themselves losing losing a wild card position if they don't start to sharpen up. And then we got the Dodgers, clearly going to win the West. I'll say it right now. They won the West. The Padres are the closest team. They're 15.5 behind. That's
well. They're also aren't the Dodgers hot right now
in the season? Yeah, they're 9-1 in their last 10. And they and they just played the Padres and they swept them in a 4-game series. So after the Padres went out and got Juan Soto at the trade deadline, and they just it's not good. It's not good for Padres. They'll still make it in the playoffs, I think. So, again, you just make it to the dance, you have a chance. So, real quick, I guess the wild card right now in the AL, it's going to be Toronto, Seattle, and Tampa. And Baltimore is also tied with Tampa for that last wild card spot. And you got Cleveland, Minnesota, and the White Sox are all in the mix, depending on which one of them wins their division. The other 2 would factor into the wild card. And then the NL, it's going to be Atlanta, Philly, and the Padres. And then Milwaukee is actually on the outside looking in already, so they're a game back in the wild card. And I think they're going to probably stay out. So, yeah, that's about it. One other piece I just wanted to bring up, you're going to say it's Red Sox news, but it's just Chris Sale. This man
hurt again.
Fell off a bicycle and broke his wrist. I just want to know what you guys think about that.
What kind of bike? Like a Schwinn?
A bicycle.
Like a Huffy?
Freaking, he rode his bike to go get lunch type thing. I don't know. Like, why is he on a bike? Like, yeah.
How much does this man get paid? He doesn't have a driver? Where was he getting food? What was he doing? Where does this guy live?
I don't know if he was actually going to get food. I'm just saying that's
Just make an example.
I don't know why else he would be on his bicycle. Like, this man makes $30 million a year. He hasn't paid somebody to go get his lunch. Like, come on.
Maybe he just wanted his
I don't
exercise.
know. Listen, man, this guy went from, at the beginning of the year, the Red Sox were supposed to have him all year. Then he comes into training camp and he fractures his rib because he's throwing the ball. He fractures his rib. How do you fracture your rib throwing the ball? Then he has a setback in rehab. Okay. Then he finally comes back, gets a line drive hit off his finger. He breaks his finger. Okay. That's bad luck. I'll give him that. But, like, now he's falling off a bicycle while he was already hurt, but he falls off a bicycle and fractures his wrist.
He's trying to protect the ribs.
Like, come on. I'm just saying, I think this guy's got a problem. And that's, I don't know, man. Do you think the Red Sox should recoup any of his money? Or try to?
For riding a bicycle?
No, for the fact that he's been hurt all year.
No.
And some of it may have been his own doing.
That doesn't matter, man. Like, you can get hurt doing anything. Like, no. If he was out here riding on a dirt bike, stuff like that, that's different. But riding on a bicycle and I got hurt, like, bro, that's just bad luck. Like, that's all it is. So.
Okay. That's all. I just thought it was a kind of annoying yet funny piece of news. So. Yeah.
Well, I'll touch a little bit on college football a little bit. NBA, college basketball, who cares? It's not that season. It's college football season, right? College football is going to be interesting this year. I know a lot of people are getting like hell about the NIL deals and stuff. But besides that, the AP poll, the coaches poll, I'm going to give you the guys the top 5 teams is Alabama at number 1, of course. Ohio State number 2, Georgia number 3. Clemson surprisingly is number 4. Everybody's expecting Clemson to have a great season. Stay tuned to that later. Notre Dame number 5, and that runs out the top 5. So there's a couple teams that's a little weird to be on here. That's surprising. Like Utah number 8, they had a good finish to the season last year. They're at number 8. NC State at number 13. Shout out to Corey. That's interesting to see them down there. And yeah, all the other teams is kind of like who you expect to be somewhere in the pack, right? But yeah, that's all I have for that. So I wanted
where's Michigan at?
Michigan is actually number 6.
They lost a lot. They lost a lot of seniors though.
Yeah, but they lost a lot of guys on defense, right? But the offensive guys were all young, and they still have a quarterback that they like, right? That they were going to groom. So he returned back. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be better than Notre Dame. I don't know why everybody's always high on Notre Dame all the time, because Notre Dame is never like that. They're never that good like that. They play good because they play nobody. Then when they play real talent, then they always lose. Yeah. So interested on that. Texas A&M, another team that people need to look out for this year. I think they're going to be at people's neck all year. But yeah, that's kind of like everything I have on college football. I wanted to make it quick and simple because I wanted to get to fantasy this week, which is going to be our great debate. Like we said, we're doing our fantasy series, making sure we get you guys and gals ready for the season. So we covered, quarterbacks and running backs already. This week it's the receivers. So guys, who are your top 5 receivers that you're looking at as far as draft wise goes for this fantasy draft?
I'm so excited.
Go ahead, Ryan.
We're doing top 5. All right, how do you want to do it? You want me to list my top 5 and then, or do you want me to just list number 1 and then you guys go with your number 1?
List your top 5. That's 5. Because I know Brian's going to copy you anyway. I've
been winging it. So I got Justin Jefferson as my number 1 wide receiver. Hold up. My number 2 wide receiver, I have Jamar Chase. My number 3 wide receiver, I have is Cooper Kupp. And my number 4 wide receiver, hold up. Who did I have here? Devontae Adams, and then number 5 wide receiver is coin toss, man. I really want to, if I'm going with my gut, I'm going to go with CD Lamb instead of Diggs. Diggs would be my 6. Those are just people I like. That being said, I put Cooper Kupp 3rd out of respect for his incredible year last year, but I would stay away from him this year if I were in your fantasy football draft. I don't like where you need to draft him to get him on your team because you need to draft him in the first round. I'm not taking a flyer on Cooper Kupp this year. He had 191 targets last year. That's not happening again. The next closest was 89, and it was Van Jefferson. Like, Robert Woods isn't there. Odell Beckham is out for most of the year. They brought in Allen Robinson to throw him the ball so they didn't have to throw this man 191 targets. He's going to be back around like 140 targets I could see him getting. I just don't think. And that, maybe, if you don't read too much into the tea leaves, but Matthew Stafford's struggling with tendonitis in his elbow, his throwing elbow. That is what took Big Ben down. Like, and you saw how quickly he fell off the cliff. So that's just me. I could be wrong this year, but I would stay away from Cooper Kupp.
Brian, what do you have that difference than that? Because I saw you laugh in the beginning, so I know you got a similar lineup. So who's different on yours?
I've got number 1's Justin Jefferson. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I've got Devontae Adams. I think that him and Derek Carr are going to get busy. At first I was low on him before, but now I'm starting to like him a lot. Even though Renfro is still going to get a lot of targets, I'm still pretty high on Adams. Number 3 is Jamar Chase. Number 4 I have is CeeDee Lamb. And number 5 is Deebo Samuel. I'm fading Kupp. I have Kupp 6th.
I will.
Sorry.
I would actually like yours better than Ryan's because I don't like Cooper Kupp at all. Like I know everybody's like, damn, Kenny, every week you're always saying somebody is going to be a bust. Somebody's going to be a bust. But like Ryan said to his point, which was valid, to where you're going to have to draft him, he's not going to produce that same amount. It's just not going to happen. You're going to see attrition. He's going to fall off a little bit. And it's going to piss people off because they're going to expect him to have all these high games like he did last year, and that's just not going to happen. I think for sure it can go either way. In my opinion, Devontae Adams is going to be the number 1 receiver. I think he's going to get that connection with Derek Carr. They're going to go back and take it to Fresno State. If you look at his targets at Fresno State, it was crazy. He was getting the ball all the time. I don't think that takes away. I think having Hunter Renfrow, having Darren Waller, that actually free up better coverage for him compared to what he had to do at Green Bay. And the fact that he was able to cook against Green Bay when he was on Green Bay, granted, I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but the fact that he was able to cook at Green Bay, which first all these good defense, they knew he was getting the ball. Now it's going to be a little bit harder because you can't just key on him. So I think that's better for him. I got Jamar Chase at number 2. I got Justin Jefferson at number 3 just because I don't like Kirk Cousins as much. But I got Justin Jefferson at number 3. I think if anybody, he has the upside to be a number 1 just because I think Adam Thielen is dropping back a little bit. Irv Smith, I don't think he's that guy. I think he does have an opportunity to get more targets, but I don't think he's that guy, right? So I do see Justin Jefferson having the ability to be number 1, but he's number 3 for me. I got Stephon Diggs as number 4. Even with everybody there, I know he's still going to get action. He's still going to get targets. And I plan on Josh Allen throwing the ball a lot. So
a positive to what you're saying, in your defense, Stephon Diggs was one of the most targeted red zone receivers last year. He just didn't come down with the ball. Like he could have caught all those touchdowns and been way higher than he was previously. So it'll be interesting this year.
My 5th is going to throw you guys off a little bit. But why would it would not be Kenny if I didn't do it, right? So my 5th is actually going to be Cortland Sutton. Only reason why is because I like Russell Wilson. He throws the ball a shit ton. And who's the ball going to go to? Is either going to be Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. I know that, Russell Wilson likes his big backs, right? I mean, big receivers. So he's going to give Sutton targets. I know that for a fact. Like the numbers that he did in Seattle made everybody be like, okay, I got to get one of the receivers, right? And you saw what he did with DK. And Cortland Sutton is a better route runner than DK Metcalf. So in my opinion, he's going to get way more targets. It's going to be more intermediate routes. I don't think it's going to be too many deep bombs all the time. I think that's where Jerry Jeudy comes in and Hamler and a couple other guys. But I do think he's going to get a lot of targets.
So I don't mind Sutton saying you're high on him, but to put him at top 5, that's a little high.
Everybody, I'm not high on, listen to this. This is my point. I'm not high on Cooper Kupp, right? So he's not going to be in my top 5, right? Because I'm not high on him. But you think
That's
about
fine.
Debo Samuels, AJ Brown, right? Keenan Allen, I thought about. Tyreek Hill, I thought about, right? All those guys, you can intermix them with me, right? But when I think about it, I'm like, okay, cool. Keenan Allen's getting a little bit old, right? AJ Brown, we got to deal with Jalen Hurts, right? Debo Samuel, we don't know what Trey Lance is going to do. We assume that he's going to be good, right? We don't. We understand Debo Samuel is going to get touches and things like that. But again, he's not a running back. So with that being said, you saw what happened towards the end of the season when he was getting hit and he started to get banged up a little bit. People are going to tee off for him this year, right? And if he gets that same production that it is again, he's not going to last because he doesn't have a running back body, right? I get it. He's stocky, he's strong, but to do that for a whole year, that's not going to happen. So Tyreek Hill is all dependent on Tua, and I think that Jalen Waddle, contrary to what people believe, is going to have a better season than Tyreek Hill, right? I think that fits Tua more, so that's the only reason why I kind of pulled back on Tyreek Hill. And then everybody else is kind of just in there. So that's why I said, okay, Cortland Sutton. If out of all those guys, Cortland Sutton, I don't think Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be anything because I don't like Matt Ryan.
You're garbage. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be in the top 5. That's my bold prediction. He's going to be a top 5 receiver this year. I'm calling it now.
No, not
That's
at all,
my
bro.
bold prediction. Look,
if he's top 5, that means that Matt Ryan is going to be a top 5.
that's not true because they have nothing outside of that besides Jonathan Taylor. They have the rookie wide receiver that they drafted that they like, but.
So you think that they're going to say, all right, cool, well, Michael Pittman is the only guy, so we're going to let him catch it. No, they're going to strap him the hell up. Michael Pittman does not get busy like that. He does not have crazy footwork. Like if it was Justin Jefferson now, that's different. His footwork is crazy, right? Some guys got crazy footwork off the line. Michael Pittman, not that.
I think Justin Jefferson's going to be the number 1 receiver this year.
Yeah. That's what I said. I have him at number 3, but he has the highest upside to be.
I'm really high on Pittman this year. Look, here's my thing with Debo Samuel, and this is my deal with like any time I draft a player in fantasy, especially receiver, you want someone that could give you high upside, which Debo checks that box. He can give you high upside, but then you also want to limit your risk. Yeah. Debo Samuel is risky only because his usage last year. And with a different quarterback, a quarterback that's not going to be afraid to run the ball. You don't really know. He hasn't built chemistry with anyone really. If anything, if you're watching the training camp tea leaves, he's built a lot of good chemistry with Brandon Ayuk. But I mean, I'm not going to get on the Ayuk train right now. But I'm just saying.
Don't start it. It would be funny if Brandon Ayuk has a year this year. I already know.
I love. Receivers that I love this year is Jamar Chase because I think that the Cincinnati Bengals last year seemed like they took the gas off the pedal a little bit, and their coach played a little bit more conservative. If they let Burrow just sling it this year with Jamar Chase, and if they're being more creative with him and move him around the field,
they're not. They're not going to let him sling it like just to Jamar Chase purely, right? It's going to be similar to midseason last year where it's going to be Jamar Chase has games that he goes for 200 and then games that he's going to go for 85, 90 because T. Higgins is going to get a lot of targets. And I really do think that them having Tyler Boyd, him being like that security blanket is big. Yeah. Right, so that's the only reason why I don't think they're going to allow Jamar Chase to get off as many deep routes. Like, yes, he's a bona fide star, so it's going to be hard to cover him. He's going to break out some of them. I just don't think
he's going to be so good.
Right? I know Jamar Chase has a. I know he has a high. He has high goals for himself this year. He wants to break the record to beat a triple crown. That's what his goals is. So if he does that, that would be crazy.
He won't be the.
In order for him to do that, that means somebody has to get hurt or digress severely. It's only the two because there's only one ball. It's three. Good
I like
guys.
the Devontae Adams pick. It really does scare me. The only thing is there's multiple variables there. It's a new quarterback he's got to play with, new old quarterback. He's played with him before. But then also the offensive system. You don't know what Josh McDaniels is going to do at like in terms of like he likes to run the ball. They ran
He gonna give him the bro. He's gonna
you
give him
don't
the
know
rock.
how
That's what
many targets or how much they're going to throw. It could be like the Patriots never had a receiver besides 1 year. They went crazy. They went crazy.
They broke records.
Broke record. Hit through that motherfucker up top every time.
I mean, granted, let's not say Derek Carr is anything close to Brady.
No. But Devontae Adams is not far from Randy Moss as far as like a receiver. I'm not speed. Hey Randy,
okay.
I'm not talking about speed.
Moss
Don't get him.
Moss
Different speed, right? But as far as like route running and his ability as a receiver, is not. You know what I mean? It's not a landslide.
Well, that's what they did a ton that year. Is Randy was catching deep balls. Like, I mean, how many receptions did he have that year? Less than 100.
Devontae Adams
less than 100.
is still going to eat, bro. He's still going to eat. Like, he's going to eat. Dude, this is his first time he's going to have in his career since, I think, the first 2 years that he's not going to be in double coverage every time.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then Darren Waller or Hunter Renfrow, they're going to be breaking in. Darren Waller might break into top 5, right, if he stay healthy, right? And then Hunter Renfrow might be top 15 receiver if he's getting double coverage. That's what it's going to be. Because they don't have a stable.
What about
like
CD
that.
Lamb?
They just don't have a stable.
What do you think? Like, I'm real high on CD this year.
See, I'm high on CD Lamb in a way, but I'm not high on it.
But who is he gonna throw the ball to?
Like,
there's a lot of targets. 100.
It would be somebody just random that they find they throw the ball to. I don't think
104 catches from 104 targets
no.
for Amari Cooper gone. Gallup's got 62. He's not even going to be there for a while until he starts.
But is CD the guy though? Like, is he the guy? Right? Because in Oklahoma, when he had the year to be the guy, it was a lot of times that he disappeared. Right? A lot of games that he disappeared. It was games that he balled out, but a lot of times he disappeared. So now, hey, Gallup's hurt. Amari Cooper's out. Now you're the guy. That means you got to get all of the action. I don't know if he's ready for that. He's going to say he's ready for that because he's going to like, man, I got the confidence in myself. I get that. But just because you say it doesn't mean it's actually going to be the case. Just like I'm not bullish on anybody on Tampa Bay's team. Right? I think they're great players, but I'm not bullish on Mike Evans. Always got a hamstring issue. Like I said before, what is he serving right now? Hamstring. Of course, he's going to fight through it, right? But I don't like that. I don't like the hamstring issue. Chris Godwin's still hurt.
Mr. 1,000 yards. He will get 1,000 yards this year. It doesn't matter. That's all he does.
Yeah, he will. But you asked who'd get targets in Dallas. I think Tony Pollard is going to be a 100-target guy.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think he's going to be more of a gadget guy, kind of Cordero Patterson type, where he's going to be split out.
That's
the ball a little
Cordero
bit.
Patterson.
I agree.
Percy Harvin, that type.
CeeDee Lamb had 120 targets last year. You're telling me he can't get 150 this year?
But he had that with other guys on the field, though. Now, when it's not other guys on the field, who's going to be the number 2 that's going to get those targets, right? Because you have to look at Amari Cooper, okay, Michael Gallup, or Cedric Wilson. Now you're going to be like, okay, well, those guys are not on the field. Cedric Wilson is, but all right, cool. Let me just lock up CeeDee Lamb.
Cedric Wilson's in Miami.
CeeDee Lamb. Oh, he's in, my bad. So he's not even there. So, like I said, there's nobody there. That's even worse.
Dalton
Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. Okay, look at him. Look at him for being a flyer.
He's not a flyer. Good luck getting him. He's going to be like the 4th or 5th tight end taken.
He's like yeah. He's one. Of the
Yeah,
top
but I'm
guys.
saying like a higher upside. Like he could be number 2. I don't think he's gonna be number 1 because there's only one person
Who's
that's
that?
number 1. But
Who's that guy?
Was he number 1 last year?
Kelce. Dude, crazy.
Yeah.
No, because Mark Andrews
is
snapped.
the only
He
person
snapped.
that Lamar Jackson has eyes for. Because it's a big target. You can't miss him. Can't miss him.
We'll get to that next week. But anyway, that's my only thing. Like, I don't know. I think to be honest with you, this draft this year is very tricky. I think out of a lot of years, this is probably the first draft that's kind of mixed up. That it's nobody like 100%. No, not even a thought. I know you guys gonna say Jonathan Taylor.
No one said that.
But for me, that Jonathan Taylor's not there. I know, but last week y'all made it seem like Jonathan Taylor's without question. Don't even skip a beat. Him, number 1.
He is.
Okay, but I'm saying at the end of the day, he's not. If I have Jonathan Taylor, I'm not saying, oh, I can sleep at night. I'm good. I'm not doing that. I feel like that about I feel like that about Derrick Henry.
If you
but I don't
felt
feel
that
like
way
about
last year,
Jonathan
you
Taylor.
weren't sleeping very well most of the year because he got injured. 10.
Yeah, he got injured for the first time in how long? Like, what are we talking
Jonathan
about?
Taylor's been injured when? Oh, he hasn't.
He's injured, yeah, but he's not as proven as Derrick
It
Henry.
hasn't happened.
I cannot wait.
He's the only one celebrating
Well, guess what?
when Jonathan
thing-
Taylor rolls his ankle. I told you he got weak knees. He got weak knees.
Hey, at the end of the day, I'm glad in our league I don't have to go first to even do that. I don't know who's going first, but
Yeah.
it's not me, so I,
I
don't
think you
have to deal
pick
with
behind
that.
me, so I'm going to take your players every time.
I'll be there. Yeah. No, you're not. You're not. You don't
I
even
know.
know how I'm
I have
drafting.
to listen to you. I'm taking Cortland Sutton first.
Who am I taking? Oh. Good luck. Good luck with that shit. That's not happening. I'm taking Devontae Adams
Oh, yeah?
first.
All right.
He
Hey,
be there. I'm taking Devontae Adams.
He won't be there.
Devontae Adams?
At
He will be
8?
there at 8. Yeah, he will. I ain't taking him. I'm at am I at 7?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
No, I think I'm at 8. You're at 9.
I have no idea.
I'm at 9. Okay.
Yeah.
The 12 league,
I'm
right?
at 5.
No, he's got a good.
Yeah, you're in a
Yeah.
fucked up spot.
You're gonna get somebody.
I could,
5 is you like middle of the pack all the time.
I'll get somebody, but it's gonna be like
Antonio
It's not
Gibson.
gonna be my choice. It's gonna be the end of every tier. of
Well, it just
players.
depends how
Yeah.
ESPN's
Oh, that's what's
rankings
left,
look, because
so-
most people at the beginning of our draft is just gonna take chalk whoever is at the top of their list. So, well, I don't do
No,
that.
that's not happening with me. I gotta be very strategic.
Oh,
But go ahead. So what you
so I
have to
will
say,
do
Ryan?
one thing, just to ask your guys' opinions. Can you guys name one rookie wide receiver that you think is going to have a good season? That's like wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 2, fringe wide receiver 1. Because usually every rookie year there's a rookie wide receiver that's gonna have a decent season.
Homeboy that went
Olave?
to the Saints. Olave.
The Chris Olave. You like him?
Because I think he pairs well with Michael Thomas. I think it's going to be a good duo there. And Jameis is. I think Jameis is.
Yeah.
I like Jameis this year. First sleeper on a quarterback. Anyways,
That's
who I'm going.
Kansas City, Sky Moore, right? I like Sky Moore. He's a little speedster. Kansas City don't really. Juju's not it. McCole Hardman is not it. So I think he has a great opportunity to get some passes because they're not going to stop throwing it.
100%.
that's
I
who
agree with
that's
you.
who I
Just
like.
because one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he's on a very an offense that knows how to utilize a player like that to put him in the right spots, to move him around the field. The only thing I probably hate about this guy is that he wears the number 24. And you're playing wide receiver. You look like a running back out there. And it drives me nuts. I know, it's fine. It just annoys me. It just annoys me.
why is that?
It's
driving you
like-
nuts?
I would like.
That shit
Ty
drove me
Montgomery all
nuts.
over again.
out there in the backfield.
I would like Christian Watson if he wasn't hurt, because Green Bay don't have nothing. Alan Lazard might be like a big sleeper.
You like giraffes?
Because he's going to get a hell of targets, and he not it.
He looks like a daddy
not
long
it.
leg running his routes.
He not it.
I don't like the way.
Yeah, like on the
it at all
outside,
either.
like the number one. I don't like that.
I agree with Sky Moore. I think that, and Andy Reid usually trusts rookies to just throw them in. Other coaches will be like, "Oh, you're a rookie. You got to buy your time. I'm putting you fourth on the depth chart at running back or some shit like that."
I would say if you guys don't have anything else for that, I got a couple BK bets.
I got one thing.
Yeah.
Just to bring it up, because earlier
Trash.
we did discuss the Patriots offense looking like crap
Go on.
in the
Garbage.
preseason so far, which is completely true. But the one name that keeps coming out of camp saying he actually looks good on the offense is Tyquan Thornton. So maybe a very dark sleeper, like taking like last pick of the draft or something like that. That could be a guy that could be like a flex play.
When you run a
possible
4-2,
wide receiver too.
when you
Right.
run a 4-2, yeah, I would.
That's what I'm saying. He's been smoking almost every corner that the Patriots have. And granted, they don't have anybody that's super great. I'll give you that. But
Oh man, the Patriots are gonna suck
Still,
this year. I
just
can't
saying.
wait.
I would say for BK bets, I got a couple of things I want you guys to look at as we're getting closer to college football season. Total wins, right? So right now we got Alabama
the over.
10.5 total wins. Take the over. Take the over. Like, what are we talking about? Clemson 10.5 wins. Take the under.
yeah, under. I
Right?
don't like Clemson this year. Why are they so high?
There's because DJ this is his third year. He's going to go to the league this year. They like what they see. I don't like that. Georgia 10.5. Take the over. Like, what are we talking about? What other teams we have on here?
I mean, Georgia lost a lot of pieces in the draft, though. I mean, you sure about that?
They have, shout out to Fran, they have a stable in the backfield still. They got like the top 2 or 3 of the top 5 running backs. Then, and they normally, mostly freshmen that come in the SEC, they normally perform their first year. They still got receivers that can play. The quarterbacks, like, they are the new Alabama. Like, it's guys that you don't know yet, but then you see them play, you're like, damn, he good. Where he been at?
You say
He's
that
sitting
when
behind
Alabama's
somebody
still
from last
there.
year. Like, that's why I'm big on that. And
Yeah,
did
I
it?
know, right?
No, I'm saying the new Alabama, like, because Nick Saban only got 3 more years.
What's he gonna
4 more years.
What's he gonna do? Retire?
And then
Nah, I guess he
Kirby got it.
He-
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's gonna- I don't
He's
think he's
basically
gonna be coaching
retired
till
now. He's
80.
chilling.
Right? Like, okay. Anyway, I just think Kirby's still young, right? He's in his 40s, so Kirby got at least 20 plus years to play. I mean, to coach, as long as he continue the path he's on, right? Texas A&M, I like the over for them 8.5. This is a homer pick. Temple, I like the
2.5
over
games.
2.5.
They gotta win 3 games. That's it.
Oh my gosh. 3 games, boy. I like that. I could put the house on that. I'll
Let's
bet
put-
on that one. I'll
Put
bet
the
on that.
vacation house on that.
That's that's what I'm. That's what I'm gonna bet on that one. I'm gonna go to the sports book and put, hey Temple, all my guys at TU. I'm gonna put the house on that 2.5. I need 3 wins. Let's do it.
What's their schedule?
That's
Oh
what I
my
have
goodness.
for the BK bets. Before we, I don't know. That shit must be bad. They got 2.5. Like damn. But like that's what I like. So that's what I got for BK bets. We're gonna come with more heat. Just guys. I hope you guys are prepared. Right. Ryan has the fire coming with fantasy football. Me and Brian are gonna give you hot fire with our picks. We're gonna win some fucking money this year. Point blank. Period. You see my camera getting a little blurry because I'm talking that shit in a blur. Anyway, that's all I have. If you guys don't have anything, we can close
Excellent.
it out.
Love you guys.
Any last comments? Yeah, we appreciate you guys' support. We thank you for everything. You guys are tuning in every week. Continue to like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends. And go TU. Go TU.
3 wins. That's all
3 wins, baby. That's all we need. Peace. See y'all next week.
Later.